Hey everyone, so it is now June 1st, it's a Friday. Just going to do a quick update on what happened with the human trafficking pivot. So basically what happened is I did some investigation. I talked to both providers, the escorts, and their clients, and also just learn more about the entire industry as a whole, and it's really interesting. So I basically found out that where a lot of the human trafficking was actually happening was through websites like Backpage, of course, and Kijiji and Craigslist. And with Trump having signed the SESTA bill and FOSTA, he actually ended up, with the shutdown of those sites, it actually already removed a lot of the human trafficked supply side of that entire industry. And so, yes, this also hurts the escorts in a way, but at the same time, not really. It really just hurt those who are really new to the entire industry. So if you're like a new escort and you don't really know what you're doing, you're probably posting your ad onto one of those personal ad sites. If you are a new John, you probably have started looking there too. But that's really for the lower end of the market. There is a much more legitimate higher end market of it that is actually quite a robust and active community. It's actually really, I actually think it's kind of great, to be honest. They whitelist and blacklist each other. They do screenings, asking for your real phone number, your ID, stuff like that, and just making sure that you're not going to murder someone or that you're not dangerous in any way. And it's also something they can use to hold accountable in any event. And so it was actually really, really interesting. I think it's really great that that whole community is established and it's still running despite the political environment and changes that have happened in the last 2 months. So on that note, that's really good. But then it left me kind of in a position where I think right now there's not too much I can do to try to solve for the domestic trafficking, because it's kind of already been highly, or rather very crippled by just the removal of these sites already. And so with that, from the interviews that I did anyways, they said that the number one important thing is screening. And it got me thinking because, through personal friends as well, stories like we've heard from the Me Too movement and Uber, there is no social bullet to holding people accountable, for the deeds that they've done. And a lot of these people are repeat offenders. And so, if you report to the police, it's, that typically isn't going to go anywhere. It's also really hard to prove. If you go to a court case, it's something that you don't want to drag out, but that kind of leaves the victims in this weird place where, what can they really do? Can they report to HR? Sure, but you might have another situation like Uber, where again they ended up just not doing anything about the whole situation, sexual harassment and and whatnot. And so then it got me thinking, well, every time you're going on an every time you're going on a Tinder site or a Tinder date, or anytime you switch teams in a company, you might want to do a quick lookup on, who that person is, what's their history like, are they dangerous, is there a potential that they're going to rape you, or harass you or assault you or something. But there is actually nothing like that out there right now. And that got me thinking, well, if I project 6 years from now, what is society going to look like? The hardest thing, when you're projecting that far out, is that you don't know. You would have never probably guessed that ride sharing and Uber would have been a thing. Same with Airbnb. You would have never probably guessed that, there would be such thing as a computer. Yet we have them now and they're all over the place. But I think this is one of those things where, it is actually a little bit obvious that there should be some foresight into having this social system that allows you to you know, do a social background check on people just to make sure that they're not like crazy or like, you know, or, you know, in some way you can just like, in some way you can just like expect what should come out of that interaction or that date, or, you know, from your new teammates or your team leaders or whatever. And so this is actually something that I think I'm gonna try pursuing, at least for now. I understand that this can change as soon as like next week, in 2 weeks, who knows, but and this is definitely another controversial idea because you can end up ruining people's lives, and the number people are really interested in it seems to make a lot of sense to people, but a lot of people are just concerned about, you know, oh, there could be that crazy girlfriend that just wants to ruin your life, or someone that hates you that just wants to ruin your life. So moderation is going to be really key here, and that's something I'm going to have to try to figure out. So in the meantime, I'm going to just try to figure out the platform. I'm actually designing it right now. It'll be a website, not an app this time. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll keep you all updated. And until next time, signing out.